Oh, this is the old turkey master here. It's been a little while since I made a video, so I thought I'd make another. We just got back from Sparta, Georgia, down Hancock County in Georgia, for our first turkey hunt down there. I went and listened the day before season opened. I just heard two way off gobbles. Didn't hear anything that's close or sound like it's on our property. We come back home and had a campfire going. We was sitting out there at the campfire talking about turkey. And we was talking about roosting turkeys, and my boy's like, I don't think they gobble in the evenings, Daddy. I said, well, son, I said, I know they gobble. I said, I've heard them a lot of times. And I said, usually when they fly up, they'll gobble one time. They won't let them hens know where they're at. The hens usually roost in one tree or one little area, and that gobbler, he'll be close by, but he won't be in the same tree. He'll probably be within 50, 75 yards. And he always likes to give them a hello there when he let them know he's around. Well, we was sitting there by the campfire, had a nice fire going, and it was 9 p.m. at night. And Lord be my witness, a turkey gobble. And, I mean, it was black dark, and a turkey gobble. Right across, right behind the house there where we were sitting. And so the next morning we got up, and my boy walked out on the porch and owl hooted, and the turkeys gobbled. They couldn't have been, maybe 100, 150 yards there. So him and his buddy, they go try to set up on them, and he bumped them, tried to get too close and bumped them off the roof. Well, the hunt was over. So the next morning, I decided I'd try my luck. Well, when they gobbled the next morning, they was across the highway on my neighbor's property, joining land. They wasn't about 100 yards, I guess, over in there. And I said, well, I believe I'll just try to call them. And I've got this box call. This is a box call made by Jerry Dad White, Hazelhurst, Georgia. And he dated it on the back 2007. So I've been using this same box for 13 years. It's cedar body with a purple heart lid. And them turkeys gobbled before daylight. They start gobbling about 6:30. And 7 o'clock they're on the ground. I mean, they fly down early. And so when they're in the tree, I just give a little light tree yet. And when I hear the gobbler fly down, well, I'm going to come out of the tree too, so I can use this box to cackle. And turkey gobble. I mean, there was two of them. And they were hammering, and I said, well, daggone, I believe I can call them across that road. So I cut a little bit. Made a little few yips, and boy, them turkeys was hammering, and they was coming. And I moved a little closer to the highway there. I was still back in the trees pretty good. And I heard my neighbor over. I didn't know anybody was hunting on that side, but evidently he'd come in and set up that morning. And a little bit I heard him on his call. He just real light like that, turkey gobble, and I hear pow! And he killed him, and I'm glad he got him one. Needless to say, I didn't get a turkey. And I hadn't had time to get back down there, so it opens here Saturday this week. Got to cut 2 days from now, so I'll be hunting up here. And we get through North Carolina's first week, we go to Ohio. And I'm going to take a camera and I'm going to try to make a turkey video, because we got plenty of birds up there. And while I'm at it, I'm going to show you this new little gun. This is a Ruger #1 Light Sporter. And it's in my favorite little caliber, 22 Hornet. These guns were made up by a distributor. They're a distributor's exclusive. Lipsy's, I believe, is the name of the distributor. And he had a little higher grade wood. This is like a #3 grade walnut. And had the receivers and the cocking levers case hardened or case colored. And the rest of it's blue. And when I first tried one out, I put this as a Tasco 6x24 target scope, so that I can see the bullet holes and I won't have to use a spotting scope. And the little gun shoots good. Now, it doesn't shoot all ammunition real well. I tried some Remington soft points, factory loads, and it opened the group up some. And I tried some, I had some 50 grains loaded, and had little gun powder, I think 13 grains of little gun. It didn't like those. So I had some 45s. Hornet makes an old style varmint bullet, and they label it 218B for the 218B, which shoots the same bullet as 22 Hornet, both 22 caliber. And they were 45 grain hollow points, kind of a flat nose. And my little gun really likes them. I backed off the powder to about 12.5 grains, and I used bench rest primer. And my little gun shot, it shot a little under 3/4, not hardly a half, but a little under 3/4 inch group. That's 5 shots in 100. And so, and I've not got the barrel broke in. I cleaned it after every 5 or 10 shots. And, well, actually, I took it up there and shot it some this morning. I believe we're really gonna like this little gun. The only, and it's not a really complaint, but it kind of annoys me. The trigger pull on these guns from factory, it's fairly crisp, but it's fairly heavy. And I understand that, all the liability and all the lawsuits on the gun triggers. Now I can understand why they put them out with a heavy trigger. And it only has 2 adjustment screws in the bottom. And one screw is just a stop, trigger stop screw, and the other screw is on the trigger return spring, with the idea being you can take a little pressure off that return spring and it's going to lighten it, but it's not going to lighten it very much. Not enough for what I want. I'm used to more of a target type trigger. They do make a replacement trigger, but you've got to take a gun apart and take the trigger apart and change some of the levers, the sear and everything, and it's got a different pivot point. So I'm gonna shoot it some more, and if the gun stays real accurate, which I'm sure it will, I'm gonna try 2 or 3 different loads. I'm gonna try some 40 grains and maybe even some 35 grains. them bee bullets that I was shooting, they're 45 grain. And their Hornet is the manufacturer of them. Actually, they're called, I don't have a box. They're 22 varmint / B. I guess they made them for the lot of lever actions in 2218B. And I guess that's why they got the flat nose, so they'll work through the lever action. But if you want a dandy little Hornet, now these are kind of pricey, but I'm really satisfied with it. I think it's going to be a winner. So I guess that'll wind me up today. I've had this call for 13 years, and it gets better every year. And I'm gonna call Dad up and down there in Hazelhurst and I want another one just like it. And he also makes a long box. And I called him and talked to him when I bought this, and I says, "What's the best sounding call you got, Dad?" And he said, "I'll tell you what I got in my bag." He said, "I got a cedar box with a purple heart lid." And I said, "Well, send me one of them." And he he makes a heck of a call. And I'd say this would probably last me the rest of my life, but I want to back up in case I break it or something. And so while Dad's still in business, I'm going to pick me up another. Real raspy. I like that rasp. If you can do that right there, you can kill yourself a turkey. Turkey Master over and out.